Good evening, it is the Oscar expert here with Brother Bro. We are so excited to bring you our updated September predictions. We are doing technical categories in this video. No actings, no screenplays, no pictures, no directors, all the other fun stuff like cinematography, editing. Cinematography, 1917, Deakins looking to win another Oscar. And even if the movie's not that good, I mean, he's going to do a one take and every frame is going to be Deakins level craft.
How can you beat that? How can you beat a Deakins one-taker movie? I'm not really sure.
The Lighthouse, number 2. If you don't have this on your list, I don't know what to tell you. This is a aspect ratio, black and white. Your bells should be ringing or all over your head for the black and white cinematography. It looks insanely well shot.
A tribute to like that old Hollywood noir, like Bergman style cinematography. I mean, you just can't get more like cinema dripping than this. Cold War,
won't be able to resist
Ida, Nebraska. They do not sleep on those black and white movies.
If Nebraska was in color, it wouldn't even have interesting cinematography.
God, no.
Just because it was in black and white, and we all know that. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood looks solid in this category. It's just Tarantino movies get nominated here. Irishman, also very possible. The lighting in the trailer looked very heavy. And if you compare it to like Wolf of Wall Street, Departed, which weren't nominated, I think this movie looks a little more stylish in like the lighting.
That's not a lock for me for cinematography. I feel like there are other movies in here that are just as likely.
Ford vs. Ferrari at number 5. People are giving a lot of praise to the cinematography. I think this movie is due for a lot of technical nominations.
I mean, the movie's going to be attached to a race car, and it's going to be going fast, so there you go.
Joker at number 6. I know a lot of people are going to say, how could you not include Joker? But you know what? This nomination for Joker is part of a package. If Joker doesn't get in for picture, I'm not sure if it gets in for cinematography. It could, because people are saying, well, it's very well crafted, but...
I mean, the cinematography does look excellent.
Little Women.
I don't think anyone was that impressed with the cinematography from the trailer, to be honest.
Waves is next. It would be hard for Waves to get a nomination here without getting more Best Picture hype. But people love the cinematography in Waves. They said it's really well shot.
I actually don't think it's impossible because of the amount of long takes and the inventiveness of the camera work in this movie that everybody points out. Maybe it could be its low nomination. Who knows?
A Hidden Life. People say it's just beautifully shot. I don't know if the Academy's going to eat up this movie. I know that they like Malick, but it's not getting unanimous praise, and it's 3 hours, and a lot of people find it tedious. It's not Emmanuel Lubezki shooting it. If it was Emmanuel Lubezki, you'd see it getting nominated, but that is not the case right now.
I will make the case for a surprise Hidden Life nomination in cinematography. I feel like it could be one of those movies that's kind of ignored by a lot of places, and then it kind of randomly gets a nomination.
Well,
some people were just paying attention, like how Mr. Turner just got score out of nowhere. Remember that?
Ad Astra. People say it's beautifully shot, but this movie is not going to be for everybody. Goldfinch, number 12. Just because it's Deakins, but this movie really tanked.
They don't have the money, they don't have the funds to campaign it because it bombed at the box office.
This says that the Goldfinch may lose up to $50 million.
Wow, for Warner Brothers. Oh my goodness.
Jesus Christ. This is what happens when you have an Oscar bait movie that sucks.
And this was entirely reviews. Reviews were the undoing of this movie. And Lucy in the Sky is another example of that. I think that movie's going to tank at the box office because those reviews are not good.
Level of showy editing.
Yeah,
this is
where everybody's calling
shit.
It out.
It's absolutely winning this category. Number 2 is Marriage Story because it just is getting editing. I don't really know what else to say. It's just a lock for editing.
I think they do like some sing-songy stuff in this movie that kind of takes it out of just that like reverse camera editing.
Well, no, because also what I saw in the trailer was it's kind of got that handheld look and like...
I think it's a little montagey.
The Irishman is number 3 because Scorsese's movies have fantastic editing all the time. Thelma Schoonmaker is again the editor, and why wouldn't it have great editing? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood will probably just get nominated. Jojo Rabbit we have at number 5. There aren't really any indications that the editing in this movie is going to be particularly good, but if this is a top contender, it might just get editing. I mean, look at Green Book.
Green Book didn't get in.
Green Book got nominated for editing, buddy.
Well, I'll be damned. So Jojo Rabbit's getting editing. It seems like a stylized movie as it is, and the Budapest Hotel got editing, so I feel like it's similar in that way.
Bombshell. It's interesting. You look at the cinematographer and you know it's an editing contender because it's Barry Ackroyd, The Hurt Locker, Big Short, and Captain Phillips.
Lots of close-ups, so those are really good for like that fast, snappy editing.
Queen and Slim looks like a movie that has some stylistic editing, judging from the trailer. Joker, again, they might be scared of this movie. Little Women, because Beautiful Neighborhood, just because 1917, people are going to say, oh my, of course it's getting editing, it's a war movie.
Don't even bother,
Stop.
Cole.
You tried this with Birdman, you tried this, we said no.
Even Roma didn't get editing.
Roma didn't get editing, no long takes.
Because they do not like the long takes.
And Waves, because the editing's probably good, but it's probably not a movie that's going to get stuff. Production design, Cats, still number one. Oversized sets, and the kiddies are going to be jumping all over them. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, duh. Maybe it could win production design. I mean, they recreated that.
No, Cats has to win. Cats has to win.
Okay, but they recreated 1969 Hollywood, and the Oscar voters are going to appreciate the fuck out of that.
1917, you say?
Oh yeah, war movies always get production design.
That's true. They do get
production design. Those trenches, the underground tunnels.
Yeah.
I mean, the freaking cameras walking all over the place.
Did Birdman get production design?
No. This is a war movie and they're walking all over the sets. You're going to go from room to room. Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
Because it's
because
World
look at
War
the
II
wallpaper.
movie.
Look at the wallpaper in this movie. Production design.
Wes Anderson times Nazi Germany.
What can you say? What more do you need to say?
Aladdin. I think that Aladdin is bound to get a few technical nominations. It's just a very polished looking movie, and it always happens. There's Beauty and the Beast and Cinderella.
And because it takes place in another country, it has these Bollywood influences. So a lot's going on. Very lavish. Very extravagant.
Right. And Little Women, just because it's a period piece. Ford v Ferrari. Do the cars count the way that they did in Mad Max? Maybe they probably do count.
I mean, that is also a period film.
Irishman. Looks like it has some massive sets as well. Usually if it's like not Hugo or The Aviator, like if it's just Departed or Wolf of Wall Street, don't always get
I don't think this will get nominated.
The Aeronauts.
They're in a balloon the half of the movie, buddy.
You're right, but period lavish movie. And Dumbo because they built a big ass circus tent, but people hated the movie, so they're not going to vote for it. Costume design. I can see Aladdin winning here because nothing else strikes me as being like so over the top with the costumes that it wins. But Aladdin, you got blending of cultures, like Brother Bro said earlier, that Bollywood influenced style. Look at the colors. They've got big puffy hats, big puffy pants. What more can you say? Little Women number 2 because everyone's wearing the fluffy shit. It's a period costume movie.
Yeah.
Jojo Rabbit, Wes Anderson meets Nazi Germany.
I think there's some interesting costumes in here because you get Bridge of Spies, which doesn't have any costumes, but this movie's a little more stylish. They have like that Boy Scout Nazi uniform, and they also have everything Scarlett Johansson wears in the trailer is like costume.
Sort of playful, semi-artificial look that you got with Grand Budapest Hotel that they awarded. It is present here.
Yeah.
Rocket Man, they had Elton John wearing giant freaking devil wings or whatever you want to call them. Big peacock costumes.
Yeah. He was going cluck cluck and he was hitting home runs. So
yeah. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I wasn't sure about this getting costumes because it's not that crazy shit, but maybe it's more of an Inherent Vice thing. They appreciate the period.
Sharon Tate had a couple cool costumes, but like, I don't think this is as big as some people are going to think it is.
They also had party scenes where you have a whole wide shot of people wearing costumes, and who doesn't love to see that? Dolomite Is My Name, I think, could pull off a costume nomination, although the movie's not really getting much else, is it? 1917... War movies don't usually get costumes.
That's not going to get it.
But
everyone's going to have the same uniform on.
Aeronauts. Fluffy shit. Clown fluffy. I don't know. Felicity Jones is their clown for some reason.
Aren't they like dumb, like baggy hats costume design?
See, look at that. What is that?
Okay, that is a costume. That's definitely a costume. I saw one costume.
It's a period movie with lavish sets, and it's a contender in some of the technical categories. Joker,
Joker for costumes.
People have said as much. And Harriet, Best score. 1917, Thomas Newman, 14-time nominee. Let's give him an Oscar. Unless the score somehow sucks, let's give him an Oscar. Please. This will be 15 nominations. Christ's sake. The man needs an Oscar. The Joker, being scored by Hilder. I think this is a lock. I think this is one of the categories that is immune to Joker backlash. First of all, she'd be like the 6th woman ever nominated in this category. Second of all, you can't read a review where somebody is not gushing over this score. Dark, ominous score, cellos. There are scenes where the Joker is dancing to the music that is the score. It's just getting nominated. Little Women, because it's Alexander Desplat. What do you want?
Yeah, that'll probably happen.
Marriage Story, Randy Newman.
That's gonna happen.
That is going to happen. That is going to happen. Ford v Ferrari.
Some people think it's generic, but some people think it's like great.
No,
So
I've heard a lot
know.
of people say that it's really good. The racing scenes are not going to be set to nothing, Justin. Ad Astra, being done by Max Richter. The reason that this is outside my top 5, even though everybody loves this score and everyone wants Max Richter to get nominations, is because this movie's not going to appeal to the Academy that much. They're going to think it was boring. They're going to go, I watched a sad movie.
We know it'll be a great score, but we don't know if they'll like that slow, languid style of Max Richter.
Aeronauts, Stephen Price. You can watch the trailer and it goes... Stephen Price did the score for Gravity and he won an Oscar. People say the score is great in this movie. Queen and Slim, being done by Devontae Hines. And this is set to be a very creative score. I think the second trailer had some music at the end I was very impressed by. Maybe a little experimental. Star Wars is number 9. I know that the other 2 got nominated. I understand. But
they're sick of it. They gotta be sick of it.
They get sick of stuff. It's like The Hobbit. They would nominate one movie for a few awards and then they nominate the next, but they would snub it here and there and they would nominate it for like, I don't know. They're not always consistent on franchises. And this year the score category is way more competitive than it was when The Last Jedi was nominated, in which it was not competitive at all.
And it's just incredibly unnecessary. I mean, The Last Jedi was incredibly unnecessary as well.
Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. I just don't know if the momentum's high enough. And Michael Abel's Us score.
Don't see it happening.
Don't see it happening anymore. Sound editing. No contest. Ford v Ferrari. You cannot walk out of the theater without saying, man, that sound is like a tire going through my body. It's going to vroom into the Oscars and it's going to sweep the sound awards.
And people say that being in Ford v Ferrari theater is like being run over by a race car. You're strapped to the bottom and it's just like...
1917 is number 2. That's pretty obvious. It's actually almost surprising that this is not number 1 because we have to give it to Ford v Ferrari so bad. It's some Dunkirk shit.
And it's going to be surround sound. They're going for the immersive cinema experience. Of course the sound's going to be excellent. When you have those long takes and you pay attention to your sound, well, look what happens. Roma happens. The Revenant happens. Even Birdman gets nominated for sound awards. I mean...
Star Wars. We don't need to say anymore. Ad Astra. It's a space movie. It gets the sound nomination.
And did you see the clip of them getting shot on the moon? They don't have sound like it would be on Earth. It's sound like it would be on the moon.
Like Gravity.
It's vibrations that go through your spacesuit, and that's what you hear, but you don't hear the actual things happening.
There are always slots dedicated to science fiction movies here, and they always get into sound editing and sound mixing. 5 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I could see this maybe pulling off a sound nomination or 2, honestly, because it sounded really good. And it's not a movie that has, the most guns or the most
If there's
cars.
not, like, a gun movie or the like in the category, then maybe Hollywood can sneak in there and, like, fill the slot.
Oh! Aeronauts is 6. There's going to be a lot of
technical potential.
Wind blowing up there and just trying to knock them
sound.
off their balloon. There is going to be sound. The Irishman could get sound editing. Maybe it's like No Country for Old Men, where some really powerful uses of sound, but in a minimal way. Endgame, people think that this is happening. It's not happening. The sound in Endgame is not that great,
now,
along with the other Avengers movies.
A lot of people want Endgame to get score, and you're just going to say no to that?
It's not happening.
Flat out.
It's not happening. Sound mixing. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are the same as we had before. But then we have Rocketman at number 5 because it is the music movie.
Yeah, and it would deserve a sound mixing nomination.
For sure. Bohemian Rhapsody, was a winner there.
Now you have Cats at number 7. Speaking of musicals.
It's not going to be liked. And then Aeronauts, as we said before. Irishman, as we said before. And Endgame, as we said before. Visual effects, The Lion King. Even though there's a lot of people hating on the movie, no one denies that these visual effects are groundbreaking. And that is why it is going to win, maybe. Unless The Irishman has stunningly good next level facial CGI. Did we think that it looked next level in the trailer? Not necessarily.
And they would give that award to The Irishman for being like a very specific achievement.
Ad Astra. They love these space movies so much that they gave it to First Man last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they love giving it to sci-fi movies. Ex Machina, Blade Runner wins, Inception wins, Interstellar wins. It's always a sci-fi movie. All the Avengers movies have been nominated, and this one is like the peak. So
yeah, this has to get that nomination.
Obviously getting nominated. And then Star Wars is obviously getting nominated. This is just a locked-in top 5. There's no way that you can have wiggle room here.
Unless they leave something out on the short list randomly.
Detective Pikachu is number 6. The kind of movie that would like randomly make the short list and then randomly get nominated.
Yeah.
The Aeronauts. Aladdin.
Sure.
There are lots of effects in that movie. Gemini Man.
Gemini Man doesn't even look like good looking, and the effects actually look. The explosions look very.
Well,
fake.
it's more about the de-aging, but the Irishman has a beat on that front. So
That's true. Yeah, Cats I'd put above Gemini Man, but
yeah, but Cats, the visual effects are the problem.
No, they're actually not a problem. They're very well done.
They're well done, but they're creepy. So why would you nominate that? And then Captain Marvel, because
they had good de-aging.
Why not throw it at the end? Toy Story 4, lead for animated feature. Obvious. Frozen 2. Unless this like sucks, which would be crazy.
It probably would still get nominated if it sucked, Cole.
Abominable premiered at Toronto Film Festival, and people were generally warm to the movie. They're
warm to this icicle of a movie.
Shaun the Sheep Farmageddon. Shaun the Sheep one got nominated because it was slapstick, and the Academy was like,
and it's claymation,
Chaplin.
So it's a unique little like fun animated movie.
Yeah, and it's a sequel. It's probably going to be good. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. This was like the least buzzed about How to Train Your Dragon movie, but still, people like the franchise.
And they're well animated movies. Like they're very well animated movies.
Missing Link is number 6. A lot of people are like, oh, but this is Laika. Why wouldn't it get in? Because this movie was an absolute bomb at the box office and it was their worst reviewed, even though people generally liked it. I think that this movie just has a reputation for failing. A lot of people think Weathering With You, which is from the director of Your Name, is going to get nominated. The Oscars are not anime fans that much. Yes, they've nominated some.
They like Hayao Miyazaki shit.
Yeah, this is like super like geared for the anime fans, and I don't know if they are that.
Well, because they didn't nominate Your Name.
And then the Addams Family, just because like why not? Makeup and hair. They have expanded this category to a whopping 5 nominees. Bombshell, number 1. Why? Because Charlize Theron looks like Megyn Kelly, and John Lithgow is in a fat suit. It's a lot of makeup.
It's like Gary Oldman shit.
Yeah, it's Gary Oldman shit. Joker, number 2. The clown makeup. What do you don't need to say anything else. Judy, number 3. Even though there's no prosthetics, she is like kind of disappearing behind the makeup. Aladdin, Cats, number 5. Some combination of makeup and CGI in there. Why not?
We suppose.
Star Wars. They haven't nominated the other remakes, but if there's 5 slots, then it's more likely. And Rocket Man, which had a minimal amount of makeup and it had some bad makeup on Bryce Dallas Howard. Would that stop them?
Are they going to care? Because they don't have anything else to nominate.
Bonus category, SAG Ensemble.
Bonus.
Marriage Story number 1. I'm sure you agree.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of the 3 actors that could literally win, you have Alan Alda. You have other supporting characters that people say are really good. Ray Liotta. Total SAG Ensemble winner, possibly. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood has a big-ass cast full of celebrities and cameos. Jojo Rabbit, I think that after winning that Toronto Award, like, it's just going to get in here. People think the kid ensemble is great. There's some great little performances like Sam Rockwell, Rebel Wilson.
It's an ensemble movie.
You know, it's an ensemble movie.
It speaks for itself.
Knives Out. This movie is all about the ensemble. Everybody's going to have a little moment. It's going to be fun. The SAGs are not always correlated with like something that gets nominated for Best Picture. They'll nominate stuff that isn't in the Best Picture category. Sometimes people overestimate that, but
The Farewell is next, and I think The Farewell should be a little higher. And how could they not nominate that movie? I mean, everybody's great in it, and it's an all-Asian cast. We nominated Crazy Rich Asians, which, if you pick apart individually, like, there weren't any like great performances in there, but The Farewell has some legitimately great performances, so how are they not going to nominate it? The Irishman's not getting nominated.
The Irishman's high.
I'm not kidding. The Irishman just like
veterans.
won't get nominated.
Why? I don't know why you'd say that. You have De Niro, but it's like literally a legendary cast.
Bombshell's more likely to get nominated than The Irishman, I feel like.
I agree that Bombshell, like this top 8, is pretty solid. Ford v Ferrari could get like a weird surprise nomination because people say that aside from Damon and Bale, there's Tracy Letts. I think one of the actresses that plays one of the wives.
Yeah, this could get a weird nomination.
People are complimenting the ensemble. Bombshell. could definitely get in there.
Total contender.
Lots of big roles for the 3 leading women.
Yeah, I mean,
and
the
then
trailer
John
is all
Lithgow.
about the 3 women in the movie and how they're all going to be like significant characters.
And I think
they're
that
all
there's
playing
like
real life people.
some cameos on the side too. Just Mercy. If this movie were a huge contender, it would probably get in, but it's just not. It's just not a huge
But
contender.
it has that diverse cast though, and I think that's actually really important. Again, Hidden Figures won over Moonlight.
Yeah, but we're also
Moonlight,
talking-
all black cast. Hidden Figures, it was a mix. This movie has a mix in it. That's like their perfect movie right there.
But those are also Best Picture contenders, and Just Mercy probably is not. Hustlers, number 10.
Would be a weird one, but maybe.
Constance Wu is great. Jennifer Lopez might get nominated. And then Dolomite Is My Name. Seems a little wacky, but like sometimes the SAGs are wacky. Like Beast of No Nation, Captain Fantastic. What?
If they give a random nomination to Eddie Murphy, then Dolomite might get ensemble. Like it'd be really weird.
So that's like a weird thing that we can see happening for some reason. It's an intuition. Waves, people love the ensemble, but again, the movie hasn't really taken off. Endgame?
I don't think Endgame.
Endgame has the biggest cast ever, though.
And it also might get a PGA nomination, like possibly.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Tear my list to shreds in the comments.